What's going on, everybody? This is Coach Reg, aka Mr. Intensity.
And I'm Alana, aka Mrs In10sity.
And our job is to
invoke thought,
help awaken the world's consciousness.
one person at a time.
Hopefully that person is you. Now, so I'm looking at my program, right?
Yes.
And I noticed that one of the things on it that's going to help a lot of fellas out with libido and erectile dysfunction is wine.
Yeah.
Now, it's Saturday night, and we're not just people who are straight-laced squares and don't have any kind of fun. So we drink some wine, right? Red wine, to be exact. Because here's the thing. Back when I was in my wild age, drinking all the time, I still like to indulge sometimes. Now, there's a certain amount you're supposed to do.
Right.
So I figure, well, let's go into the benefits of red wine and show you how much you take, how good it is for you, and that you can still enjoy your life and have a little bit of fun as well, because we have fun,
right? And
wine is a hell of an aphrodisiac.
Yes, it is.
Alright, so we're going to get into certain things that you might not have known about wine. Now let's talk about wine, for example. Now, studies have repeatedly shown that moderate red wine consumption seems to lower the risk of several diseases, including heart disease. However, there is a fine line between moderate and excessive intake. Now, how is red wine made? Red wine is made by crushing and fermenting dark-colored whole grapes. There are many types of red wine which vary in taste and color. Common variety includes Shiraz, Morlet, Cabernet, Pinot Noir, and Zinfandel. Alcohol content usually ranges from 12 to 15%. Consuming moderate amounts of red wine has been shown to have health benefits. This is mainly due to its high content of powerful antioxidants. Now, what's the next one, babe?
Red wine can lower the risk of heart disease, stroke, and early death, guys. Small amounts of red wine are linked to more health benefits than any other alcoholic beverage. People who drink approximately 5 ounces of red wine a day seem to be at about 32% lower risk than non-drinkers. Wow. However, higher intake increases the risk of heart disease dramatically. So don't go over 5 ounces, guys.
Please don't.
Especially on a daily basis. No. Drinking small amounts of red wine may reduce the risk of heart disease by helping to retain the good HDL cholesterol in the blood. Oxidative damage and the oxidation of the bad LDL cholesterol may also be reduced by up to 50%. Some studies indicate that populations are already at a risk of heart disease, like the elderly, may benefit even more from moderate wine consumption. Furthermore, drinking 1 to 3 glasses of wine per day, or 3 to 4 days of the week, may reduce the risk of stroke in middle-aged men. One study also showed that consuming 2 to 3 glasses of dealcoholized red wine per day may lower blood pressure. Many studies have shown that moderate wine drinkers are at a lower risk of death from heart disease compared to non-drinkers or beer and spirit drinkers.
Now you see what they said.
Wow.
Moderate. See, some of you people drink so much liquor that this shit tastes like Kool-Aid to y'all. And y'all can keep on drinking it and drinking it and drinking it. Now, I put this in my program for a reason. Because, a lot of fellas out there, you consume too much beer, all that yeast, and too much liquor. Dark liquor and clear liquor is bad. And all that yeast from that beer, which is going to lower your chances of having an erection.
Right, and T levels, right?
Oh, definitely T levels.
Right.
You think it's cool to go out, drink with your homies, but your T levels is dropping, Also, you can save some money too.
You can.
Because if you stop drinking in general for like a couple months, and your tolerance goes down, and you start drinking your little bit of red wine, your little cup and a half that you can get every day, we'll get into how much you should drink, but you also get a little buzz from just 2 cups of red wine, which means you don't got to go out there drinking whole bottles. Now, we're going to get into, if you do have a problem, an addiction problem, maybe you shouldn't drink this, but we'll get into that as well so you can understand. Alright? Now, red wine has been linked with several health benefits, many of which are attributed to its potent antioxidant. Red wine consumption is linked to reduced risk of cancers. Studies have shown that moderate red wine consumption is linked with a decreased risk of several cancers, including colon, basal cell, ovary, and prostate cancers. One of the biggest things for your erection is the prostate. One reason why you're going through erectile dysfunction is also premature prostate failure.
Yeah.
Your prostate is failing, which is a lot of black men are dying of prostate cancer because you are too tough to go to the doctor and get your prostate checked, so you don't know what's going on with you. And on the other side, you're going through a massive amounts of prostate failure and erectile dysfunction, and you think it's something else, but really it's in your prostate because it's about to fail on you. Now, it also reduces the risk of dementia. Drinking 1 to 3 glasses of wine per day has been linked to a reduced risk of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Reduced risk of depression. A study of middle-aged and elderly people showed that those who drank 2 to 7 glasses of wine per week were less likely to become depressed. I know why. Make you feel real good.
Absolutely.
Reduce insulin resistance. Taking 2 glasses per day of regular or de-alcoholized red wine for 4 weeks may reduce, reduce risk of type 2 diabetes in women. Moderate red wine consumption has been linked with a reduced risk of developing type 2 diabetes in women. It seems clear that moderate amounts of red wine can be good for you. However, there are some important negative aspects to consider. These include alcohol dependence. Drinking alcohol regularly may become out of control and lead to alcoholism. So if you have a problem, take your ass to AA and do not drink. Alright? Don't just go from liquor to wine if you have a problem drinking liquor. Alright? So if you already have a problem drinking, this video is not for you. Hit that dislike or hit off and take a hike. Take your ass to AA because you need help. Don't be up in here saying, well, I'm going to go ahead and drink a couple bottles of red wine. That's the same thing.
No, that's too much.
Alright? Now also it can lead to liver cirrhosis. When more than 30 grams of alcohol, about 2 or 3 glasses of wine are consumed each day, the risk of developing liver disease increases. End-stage liver disease, called cirrhosis, is life-threatening. Reduced risk of depression. Heavy drinkers are at much higher risk of depression than moderate or non-drinkers. Also, it can have weight gain. Red wine contains twice the amount of calories of beer and sugary. Excessive consumption, therefore, contribute to high calorie intake and make you, fat. Increased risk of death and disease. Drinking a lot of red wine, even 1 to 3 days per week, may increase the risk of diabetes in men. High alcohol intake has been linked with an increased risk of premature death. Now, if you are drinking red wine, there is no need to worry unless you are exceeding the recommended amount. Now, babe, let's talk about the recommended amount because these people need to know both sides of things.
Alright, the recommended amount for women is 1 or 1 to 1.5 cups of glasses a day. And for men, it's 1 to 2 glasses a day. Now, some sources also recommend having 1 to 2 alcohol-free days each week. Okay.
So they said not every day.
We rarely drink alcohol, guys.
You can't buy on the weekend.
Maybe
Saturday, Sunday.
Once every month.
Not in the week though.
Not in the week.
Like a bottle of wine can last like a good month for us.
For us,
because we don't really drink that much, but when we do, it's something like it just eases our our mind sometimes.
Right. Exactly.
But you gotta know how to control it.
Exactly. All right. Keep in mind though that this refers to total alcohol intake. Drinking this amount of new red wine in addition to other alcoholic beverages could easily put you in the range of excessive consumption. If you have a history of substance abuse, then you should probably avoid wine and any other alcoholic beverage completely. Also, be very careful if you have a family history of alcoholism.
Let's stop that shit right there. You do not have a family history of alcoholism. Y'all do the same shit.
Right.
They want to, have a whole thing saying, okay, well, if my mama was a drunk, and my grandpa was a drunk, then I have to be a drunk.
I am a drunk.
You don't have a history.
It's like a psychological thing they do when they say, oh, it's in your family history.
Because you know why?
Believe that, guys.
Let me tell you why they tell you that. Because they say, well, then I can't help it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. It's already in my bloodline. It's hereditary, so it's passed down. So that means that I got to do it too, because then you'll feel like you want to do it, or you have to do it, because then you'll feel the pull. It's psychological, like she said. It's psychological. Now, we all know that wine is an aphrodisiac, but there's certain things that actually trigger men and women as far as scent and everything, and I want to get into that side as well, because this is one of the main reasons I put this in my program, to consume, but to consume moderately, not too much, alright? Like we do, alright? Now, wine and sex is definitely not pairing but that instantly it comes into mind. However, even though we won't talk about it, wine is used as a social lubricant at the time, which left us wondering. Now, in 2009, an Italian research group published a study that showed a correlation of drinking wine, specifically red wine, increased sexual appetite of women. The study cued 300 Italian women who drink red wine, other alcohol or non-alcohol at all. The red wine drinkers scored 2 points higher than other alcohol drinkers and 4 points higher than
teetotalers.
I guess. Overall, the study isn't enough to support wine sex drive, but it did inspire more research. Now, why alcohol makes you horny and hot? Alcohol in small amounts will increase your libido. It will also make you hungry and feel flushed. This is because the ethanol stimulates a primitive part of your brain called the hypothalamus, which is located right above your brainstem. This portion of the brain regulates basic human function, including body temperature, hunger hormone levels, parental attachment behavior, and of course the sex drive. Moderation is the key. You will need a little bit of wine to feel those effects. You'll be surprised at how many people don't realize this, but too much wine over weight limit is bad for you. Not that I don't trust you, but you can never stop talking about the importance of moderation. I'm going to say it. The article said that I don't trust you. I don't trust you.
Right.
Because when I stopped drinking liquor, I didn't trust me. So I stopped it in general, and when I was like, I used to drink the whole bottle, straight like that. So,
my God.
So I want to, certain things that, will trigger a man, trigger a woman with sense. So I want you to go into that, babe. What they say about that?
Alright, several studies have been conducted over the last 10 years attempting to identify that what smells activate the sex drives in women and men. While this science is still very new and also pretty complex, it's been suggested that certain smells turn us on. Oddly enough, a lot of the aromas found in wine are the aromas that turn us on. Women are aroused by different smells than men. Aromas that arouse women. Women tend to get turned on by musky, earthy, woody, licoricey, and cherry-like aromas.
What?
While we
Is that true, women?
It is true. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I like lavender and vanilla also.
Hey, fellas, we got a cheat sheet. We about to give you one for the women too. About to give you one as well, fellas.
Right. While we don't have conclusive evidence, these flavor descriptions sound a lot like words used to describe fine, Nebbiolo, Barbera, Sangiovese, Zinfandel, and even rustic Zinfandel, and even rustic Pinot Noir. Aromas that arouse the men. Men tend to get turned on by scents like lavender, caramel, butter, orange, licorice, bacon, spice, and
I like the vanilla. I like my car scent was like vanilla, straight up. I like the vanilla aroma. The car scent. Hey fellas, maybe it's just me, but I like the vanilla aroma, like the car freshener.
Yeah,
I like the yellow vanilla aroma. That's real good. I like that a lot. Yep, straight up.
I'm gonna start putting on some vanilla.
You don't want to do that. You gonna see that tonight? I'm sorry, y'all.
Sorry, guys. Okay.
We're drinking wine, so just bear with us, So.
Alright, we can't make definitive claims, but many of these aromas are commonly found in fine champagne, Moscato, dry sherry, Tawny port, Vinsanto, Grenache.
I guess that's it.
Syrah, and even rose wines.
So people, you must know that you must be safe when you always drink, okay? You must be responsible adults. If you have a problem with liquor and addiction, then maybe you shouldn't be drinking wine at all. If you're okay and you're able to, control it, we went over the video of pretty much what you should be taking.
And remember, guys, if you go over the limits of wine consumption and as well as other alcoholic beverages consumption, you will gain weight. Now, we're trying to run away from gaining weight. Yes, it's nice to, have, like a good relaxing time drinking red wine, but be very, very careful with the amount of, wine you intake or alcohol you intake. So, That's that.
Absolutely. So, drink responsibly. You have the facts here. You can have an alternative besides liquor and beer.
Right.
You have alternatives. It's all about you being responsible enough to use them. You know the consumption. Drink responsibly.
Yes.
Okay, nutrition is everything. All right?
Yes.
So, besides that, this is Coach Reg, a.k.a. Mr. Intensity.
And I'm Alana, a.k.a. Mrs. In10sity.
And our job is to
invoke thought.
help awaken the world's consciousness.
One person at a time.
Hopefully, that person is you.